Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome to the course of Art of Leadership and Motivation, HRM 760, and today is lecture number 29, and I am your facilitator, Professor Dr. Muhammad Majid Mahmood. Today we have a very important topic when we talk about the role of leaders in organizations, and that is called delegation. Now let us talk about delegation and how delegation can give you benefits, and how with the help of delegation we can improve our quality, how we can improve our performance. So we will look at delegation from different perspectives. According to Hadith's law, if you have a difficult task, give it to a lazy man, he will find an easier way to do it. Now talking about the human resources. Human resources are the most important asset of any organization. So when we talk about resources, how many type of resources are available to organizations, or in other words, how many resources are required in any organization, whether it is a public organization, private organization, Pakistani organization, some foreign organization. So how many type of resources are required in an organization? Of course, we need to have 4 type of resources called human resource, financial resource, physical resource, and information resource. Human resource means all the persons who are working for the organization at any level. They are called the human resource. Financial resource means the money, the capital, the investment. That is called the financial resource. Physical resource means land, building, equipment like computers, table, chair, furnitures, printers, so these are called the physical resources. And finally, information resource. Television, radio, newspaper, magazines, internet. So these are called the information resources. So in order to run any organization most efficiently and effectively, this is important to know that, do they have those required resources? So out of these 4 resources, human resource is the most important asset of any organization in the world. Most human resources and business professionals understand this, but it is alarming how few are able to implement it. Why is this? Now this is really very interesting, that mostly people agree with it. Mostly people understand this. So whenever you talk about human resources, almost there is a consensus on it. Almost everybody agrees that HR the most important asset. But it is alarming हाउ फ्यू आर एबल टू इम्प्लीमेंट इट। उसकी रीजन क्या है? एक तरफ तो आप बात करते हैं कि जो हमारे एम्प्लॉइज हैं, दे आर द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट एसेट, बट ऑन द अदर साइड आप अपने मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट एसेट के लिए आप क्या कर रहे हैं? क्या आपने उनको उनकी नीड्स एंड वांट्स को सेटिस्फाई किया है? क्या आप अपने एम्प्लॉइज की टेक केयर कर रहे हैं? क्या आपने उनको अथॉरिटी और डिसीजन मेकिंग पावर दी हुई है? क्या आपने एम्प्लॉय एम्पावरमेंट की हुई है? एम्प्लॉयज की मेडिकल प्रॉब्लम्स, उनकी ट्रेनिंग एंड डेवलपमेंट रिक्वायरमेंट्स, उनकी होम प्रॉब्लम्स, उनकी सोशल प्रॉब्लम्स, एम्प्लॉयज की जो भी प्रॉब्लम्स हैं उसमें फैसिलिटेट करना, उनको हेल्प आउट करना, ये किसकी जिम्मेदारी है? सो ऑफ कोर्स जब आप कहते हैं कि दिस इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट रिसोर्स, तो जिसको आप मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट रिसोर्स कह रहे हैं, तो क्या आपकी एनर्जीज, आपके बाकी रिसोर्सेज उस मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट रिसोर्स को सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं या नहीं कर रहे? जब हम डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज की बात करते हैं, जब हम पाकिस्तान की बात करते हैं, तो जब आप देखते हैं यहां पे पर्टिकुलरली द पब्लिक सेक्टर ऑफ पाकिस्तान, तो क्या ह्यूमन रिसोर्स की उतनी केयर की जा रही है जितनी की करनी चाहिए? नाउ दिस इज अ बिग क्वेश्चन मार्क. So in order to get the best out of the people who are working whether in the public sector or private sector, it is a prerequisite that you need to take care of them. जब तक आप उनको पीस ऑफ माइंड नहीं देंगे, how they will give you creativity, how they will be more innovative. दुनिया में सर्वाइवल के लिए, दुनिया में किसी भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की सर्वाइवल के लिए, दुनिया में किसी भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की सक्सेस के लिए, दुनिया में किसी भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए कि वो बेंचमार्क सेट करे, हाईएस्ट स्टैंडर्ड सेट करे, दुनिया में किसी भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को मार्केट लीडर बनने के लिए, द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग रिक्वायर्ड इज ह्यूमन रिसोर्स. Human resource is also called the intellectual capital. So this intellectual capital, this human brain, is much more important than the remaining three resources. Because if you talk about financial resources, physical resources, information resources, तो इन तीनों resources को डायरेक्शंस किसने देनी है? ह्यूमन रिसोर्स ने, ह्यूमन ब्रेन ने. सो व्हाट डू वी लर्न फ्रॉम दिस डिस्कशन? वी नीड टू डू समथिंग टू गिव पीस ऑफ माइंड टू आवर एम्प्लॉइज, एंड डेलीगेशन इज वन मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट स्ट्रेटजी. Now, when you delegate your decision-making authority, when you give your subordinate, your follower, decision-making authority, so what happens? You are giving independence to your employees. You are trusting your employees. You are empowering your employees. And then you see that when you delegate properly, of course there are some prerequisites, there are certain criteria required. So once a person fulfills that criteria, so you can delegate your authority, your powers to those employees, and then you see that you will see wonderful results. Employees will do something for the organization that is even not in your imagination. So we must trust our subordinates. We must trust our colleagues. We must trust our employees. And how to prove that we really trust our employees? How to ensure that our employees become more loyal with the organization? How to ensure that we promote the culture of creativity and innovation in the organization? The answer lies in delegation. Now let us talk about delegation, different definitions of delegation. Delegation is the process that makes management possible. Because management is the process of getting results accomplished through others. It means that when we talk about management, the purpose of management is to give results. The purpose of management is to get the best out of people. The purpose of management is to achieve the targets. And delegation is the process that makes management possible. So when we talk about management, we always talk about 4 managerial functions. And those 4 managerial functions are planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. Now, what is planning? Planning means developing goals and objectives, and then developing strategies to achieve those goals and objectives. Now, goals are the long term, objectives are the short term. Objectives are coming out of the goals. So this is the first step of management, that they should be proactive. So when we talk about planners, we talk about proactive planners and we talk about reactive planners. Reactive planners are those who plan in response. Okay, when your competitor do something better than you, then you think, oh my God, now what should I do? And then you plan. It means that something occurs, some problem occurs, some issue or challenge occurs, some opportunity arises, and then you start thinking about developing your plan. And this is what reactive planners do most of the time. On the highly recommended side, proactive planners, they plan in advance, they forecast, they predict. So before a problem occurs, they stop it. So they take problem not as a problem, they look at the problem as an opportunity. They take the problem as an opportunity. So in planning, as a proactive planner, they set goals and objectives which are SMART. And SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. So when you keep all these factors in your mind, you develop SMART goals and SMART objectives. And of course, then you develop the strategies to achieve those SMART goals and objectives. So that is the first managerial function. The second managerial function is called organizing. Now, organizing means your organizational structure, your reporting hierarchy. Like when we talk about the organizational structure, we are talking about the organogram of the organization. Like who is in the top management and who is in the middle management and who is in the low management and who is in the non-managerial employees level. So there are different levels in any organization. So when we have different levels, there is a reporting relationship, like who reports to whom, who is to do what, how to do what to do. So these are the things we decide in the organizing function of management. The third function of management is called leading. Now, a leader is a person who facilitates others, who encourages others, who motivates others. So, the basic characteristics of leaders include taking initiative, having the best intellectual capital, motivating others, having strong communication skills, having strong human skills, strong integrity, trustworthiness. So true leaders are those with their actions other people they dream more. So whenever there are leaders, there are true leaders, they have followers. So the actions of true leaders help others to dream more, do more, work more, perform more. And here we talk about the transformational leaders. And transformational leaders are those who can do something beyond the imagination of others. So these days, we are focusing more on the transformational leaders who are really creative, who are wonderful critical thinkers, who innovate things. So in order to become a market leader, you need to have a competitive edge. And the most sustainable competitive edge is the human brain. Your competitors can copy your goals and objectives. Your competitors can copy your products. But one thing is very difficult to copy, and that is called human brain. So, ideal leaders and their wonderful followers, all of them have wonderful brains. They are the genius people. So what they do is, the true leaders, they delegate. They give decision-making authority to their followers. They empower their followers. And this promotes originality. Somebody asked me in class that how to give presentation in the class. I said, do it your way. I only tell you, okay, this is the time frame. So you have like 10 minutes or 20 minutes presentation. This is the topic. This is the venue. Now you do it your way. So good leaders, what they do is, they give you the brief guidelines. They tell you the targets. They give you the deadlines. but they delegate as well, and they promote originality, they promote creativity and innovation. So the intellectual capital or the human brain can give you the most sustainable competitive advantage in the market. And finally, the fourth managerial function is called controlling. Now, controlling means monitoring and evaluation. You keep on doing that monitoring and evaluation. And so if somebody is deviating from the path, you take corrective measures. Talking further about delegation, unless you delegate tasks to your subordinates, your team will become inefficient and demoralized. तो अगर आप चाहते हैं कि आपकी टीम्स जो हैं वो एफिशिएंट हों, मॉरली बूस्ट हों, तो what you need to do is you need to delegate tasks to them. जब तक आप एम्प्लॉय एम्पावरमेंट नहीं करेंगे, जब तक आप डेलीगेट नहीं करेंगे, how the team members will know कि you trust them? How the team members will know कि you trust their competence, abilities and skills? So बजाय ये कि तमाम डिसीजन मेकिंग पावर्स आप अपने हाथ में रख के बैठे हुए हैं, it is better you delegate. And once you delegate, what happens that the result is more efficient and highly moralized teams. Like for example, आप एक एक्टिविटी करना चाह रहे हैं, आप एक प्रोजेक्ट रन करना चाह रहे हैं, उस प्रोजेक्ट में every employee has certain role to play. If all the employees all the time asking you for permissions कि मैंने ये इतना काम कर लिया, आगे कैसे करना है, ये कैसे करना है, वो कैसे करना है, so as a head of that department or head of employees, you're busy in like answering all of their queries all the time. So who will think about the vision? Who will think about the strategies? So the major responsibility of leader is to focus more on the vision, mission and objectives, to focus more on the strategies. और जो आपके डेली डे टू डे मैटर्स हैं, empower your employees, give them the decision making authority. So जब आप अपने एम्प्लॉइज को एम्पावर करते हैं, उनको डिसीजन मेकिंग अथॉरिटी देते हैं, तो दे आर हैप्पी, दे बिकम मोर लॉयल बिकॉज नाउ दे नो दैट कि यू ट्रस्ट देम. जब तक आप किसी को एम्पावर नहीं करेंगे, डिसीजन मेकिंग अथॉरिटी नहीं देंगे, उसको कैसे पता चलेगा कि यू ट्रस्ट हिम और हर? अकॉर्डिंग टू वुड्रो विल्सन, I not only use all the brains I have, but all I can borrow. It means that how you can borrow brains. You can always borrow brains if you delegate. So delegation is the key. If you do not delegate, how you can improve efficiency and effectiveness? One-man show is not recommended in any case. If only few persons are making all decisions in the organization, that is one of the root causes of the failure of most of the organizations in the developing countries of the world. So if we really want to set the benchmarks in the market, we should delegate our decision-making authority to our subordinates. Now the question is, why delegation is so important? Why delegate? Due to globalization, now there are almost no more monopolies in the world. So whatever you do, like for example, आप एक बॉल पॉइंट बनाते हैं पाकिस्तान में, तो how many competitors you have? फर्स्ट कंपेटिटर जो आपको मार्केट में नजर आता है पूरी दुनिया में इंक्लूडिंग पाकिस्तान, it is China. So globalization is there. Now the managers having a global mindset, they know that in order to have the most efficient and most effective employees, we should delegate. So when you keep the globalization in mind, world is a global village. So you can never hide or escape from your competitors. Another reason why we need to delegate is called information technology explosion. So technology is changing rapidly. Every second, every minute, every day, every hour, there are rapid changes in case of information technology. So logically speaking, how is it possible for one person or few persons in the organization to have a strong grip on the new technology that is rapidly changing day by day? So if you want to have ongoing improvement in the quality of your products and services, you have to delegate, because otherwise you are compromising on quality. Because as an individual, you cannot always keep an eye on the changing technology. Increased mergers. Now another very important factor which is like happening in the world is organizations, they are moving towards mergers. Like for example, if we take the example of Walls and Polka ice cream, there is a merger of these two companies. So due to mergers, the top management, they have to delegate more. So they should delegate more in order to ensure the efficiency and effectiveness of the individuals, groups and organization. Heightened competition, जैसे कि हमने पहले बात की कि there is survival of the fittest in the market. So a tight, tough competition is going on in the world. So you cannot ignore your competitors. You cannot escape from your competitors. The only choice you have is you face your competitors. So due to heightened competition, it is mandatory for organizations not to compromise on the quality of their products and services. And in order to have ongoing improvement in the products and services, creativity and innovation is required. And how we can bring in creativity and organization in our organizations, how we can bring in more innovation in our organization without the help of our employees. So delegation plays a critical role here. Higher expectations of nearly every customer. Now customers are highly aware these days. They have internet, they have Facebook, they have Twitter. There are many sources of information, even the SMS is here now, everywhere. So customers are highly educated. They are much aware than earlier. That results in higher expectations of nearly every customer. So every customer is unique. So in order to satisfy your customers better than your competitors, you should delegate. So it just isn't possible to still be that one person in control of everything. Bringing in others to manage is an absolute necessity for survival now. So you must perform only essential activities that give the company its competitive advantage. So this advice is for the bosses, this advice is for the top management, that you should only focus on those areas that gives you the competitive advantage, or from strategic point of view, you need to focus more on those activities. Another advice to top management is learn to do less and manage more. The delegation task is in finding the right persons and giving them the right work. Now, right person for the right job. This is what it means. So it means that you need to find the right person. Now, right person means that a person having fulfilled the eligibility criteria to perform the delegated task in the most efficient and effective manner. So what happens if you delegate your decision-making authority to a person who is not the right person, who has lack of skills and competency? So this will multiply the problem. So before delegation of your task to your employees, you need to find the right person. And if you don't find any such person in your organization, so you can always opt for training and development of your employees. So first you train and develop your employees, and once you know that, okay, they are well trained, then you can delegate tasks to those employees after training and give them the right work. So the person's skills and capabilities should match with the work assigned. ये ना हो कि आपने जो काम दिया है, it does not match with the skills and competencies and abilities of the person. So there should never be a mismatch. Now, tasks you should not delegate. Following activities are sensitive and should not be delegated. Tasks you should not delegate. So following activities are sensitive and should not be delegated. For example, hiring, firing, pay issues, policies. Now, all of these activities are highly sensitive and most important from strategic point of view in any organization in the world. For example, when you are involved in recruitment and selection of employees, you should not delegate this work to your subordinates. Because if you hire a wrong person, that person becomes your liability. and that person increases your expense because you need to spend more money on that wrong person for his training and development. और अगर ट्रेनिंग एंड डेवलपमेंट के बाद भी अगर उसमें पॉजिटिव चेंजेस ना आए तो यू लाइक वेस्ट योर रिसोर्सेस. देन फायरिंग, when you terminate your employees, when you suspend your employees, when you separate your employees from the organization, that is the most sensitive area because you have invested a lot in your employees. So when you hired them, when you trained them, you provided them all the facilities, and once they are now learned many things and now they are working in your organization, so if you ever fire the right person, this will give you a big loss. This will damage your market repute. So firing and hiring should never be delegated. Pay issues like increase and decrease in salaries, financial and non-financial rewards, these should not be delegated. And talking about the policies, now this is highly sensitive because any change in policy has a very strong impact on the employees overall. So according to research, these are the 4 areas which are highly sensitive and should not be delegated. So let us talk about the major advantages of delegation. Positive aspects of delegation include higher efficiency. Okay, let me ask you something. How with the help of delegation you can have higher efficiency from your employees? कैसे मुमकिन है? Okay, what comes in your mind? जब आप अपने एम्प्लॉय को एम्पावर करते हैं, उसको डिसीजन मेकिंग अथॉरिटी देते हैं, उसको इंडिपेंडेंस देते हैं, he or she has a peace of mind. एम्प्लॉय फील्स के उसको वैल्यू किया जा रहा है, उसकी वर्थ को रिकॉग्नाइज किया जा रहा है, एंड दैट in most cases results in higher efficiency. And efficiency means minimum input के साथ आप maximum output हासिल करने की कोशिश करते हैं. So it means the efficiency. So जो employees जिनको delegate किया जाता है, they use their best potential to get the higher efficiency. Increased motivation. So with the help of delegation, we ensure the positive motivation of employees. So we ensure that employees' motivation level increases. Because you know, it is a natural thing that कि जब आप अपने employees पे ज़्यादा trust कर रहे हैं, उनको वैल्यू दे रहे हैं, उनको इंपॉर्टेंस दे रहे हैं, उनकी स्किल्स एंड एबिलिटीज को आप एक्सेप्ट कर रहे हैं, तो तभी आप उनको डेलीगेट कर रहे हैं. तो डेफिनेटली उनका मोटिवेशन लेवल जंप करता है और उनका जो काम के अंदर इंटरेस्ट है, उनकी जो विलिंगनेस टू डू बेस्ट वर्क है, दैट इंक्रीजेस. इट ऑल्सो डेवलप्स द स्किल्स ऑफ योर टीम. जब आप डेलीगेट करेंगे तो ऑफ कोर्स उसकी स्किल्स एम्प्लॉइज की इंप्रूव होंगी क्योंकि ही और शी इज इन्वॉल्व इन डूइंग सम न्यू वर्क जो कि उसने पहले नहीं किया हुआ. लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जो डिसीजन मेकिंग अथॉरिटी आपने उसको दी है, उससे पहले उसने अपनी कैरियर में इस तरह की डिसीजन मेकिंग नहीं की. तो फॉर द वेरी फर्स्ट टाइम जब आप कोई काम करते हैं तो यू लर्न, यू डेवलप योर स्किल्स. बेटर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ वर्क थ्रू द ग्रुप. Delegation also improves the group activity and faster decision making. कि आपकी decision making quick हो जाती है. वो ऐसे कि when employees are and the subordinates are not waiting कि जी ऊपर से बॉस से अप्रूवल आएगी तो हम काम शुरू करेंगे. जब अपने ऑलरेडी डेलीगेट किया हुआ है तो एम्प्लॉयज जो हैं वो अपने तौर पे वो एक्टिविटीज शुरू कर देते हैं. दे आर नॉट वेस्टिंग देयर टाइम कि जितना टाइम लगेगा अप्रूवल आने में. सो दे इमीडिएटली स्टार्ट वर्किंग एंड दैट सेव्स टाइम एंड दैट रिजल्ट्स इन क्विक फास्टर डिसीजन मेकिंग. अदर मेजर एडवांटेजेस ऑफ डेलीगेशन आर increased productivity in the organization. जैसे कि हमने पहले बात की कि as a result of delegation there is higher efficiency and higher effectiveness. Efficiency means with minimum input you try to get the maximum output. Effectiveness means the results, your objectives. So with the right motivation, there is increase in productivity of the organization as a whole. Talking about the department and team, it becomes more enthusiastic, active and successful. तो enthusiastic कैसे होंगे, active कैसे होंगे, successful कैसे होंगे? लेकिन जब आपको decision making का अख्तियार मिलता है, जब आपको independent task दिए जाते हैं, तो यू फील एक्साइटेड, यू फील रियली इंथुजियास्टिक, आप बहुत एक्टिव हो जाते हैं. जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल आपको इंस्ट्रक्शंस आ रही हैं, आपने ऐसे करना है वैसे करना है, यू आर जस्ट फॉलोइंग दोज इंस्ट्रक्शंस. बट जब आपको ये कहा जाता है कि नाउ दिस इज एन इंडिपेंडेंट टास्क, दिस इज द डेडलाइन, इस डेट से पहले आपने ये काम खत्म करना है, देन यू फील रियली एक्साइटेड, यू बिकम रियली एक्टिव. और आप ये सोचते हैं कि ओके दिस इज द टाइम टू प्रूव माई वर्थ, दिस इज द टाइम टू टेल एवरीबॉडी दैट आई हैव अ वंडरफुल स्किल. सो यू बिकम रियली एक्टिव. अदरवाइज यू आर पैसिव. जब आपको काम कहा गया यू आर जस्ट फॉलोइंग लाइक ए रोबोट. बट वंस यू स्टार्ट मेकिंग योर ओन डिसीजंस, दैट मेक्स यू रियली excited and active. So talking about employees, career development and increases energy. Definitely career के ऊपर इसका impact है कि when जो delegated task है आपने उसको most efficiently, most effectively जब perform किया, that goes in your resume, that goes in your CV, that adds up in your career development. So in your promotion, you always mention that in your interview that you have performed certain tasks and these were the results, and increases energy. Further advantages of delegation are it builds human resource capabilities. Of course आपकी capabilities increase हो रही हैं with the passage of time, encouraging radical ideas and risk taking. एक तो स्लो चेंज प्रोसेस है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में और एक रेडिकल चेंज प्रोसेस है. तो जब आप अपने एम्प्लॉयज को डेलीगेट करते हैं अथॉरिटी और उनको इंडिपेंडेंट टास्क देते हैं, तो एम्प्लॉयज दे मूव टुवर्ड्स रेडिकल आइडियाज, इनोवेटिव आइडियाज, एंड इन मोस्ट केसेस एम्प्लॉयज टेक रिस्क. तो जैसे हम कहते हैं हायर रिस्क हायर गेन्स एंड लोअर रिस्क लोअर गेन्स. So with creative innovative ideas and by taking risk, so you are encouraging a wonderful environment in your organization where there are radical ideas and there are people who are taking risk, improving employee performance to an optimum level. हाईएस्ट लेवल पे आप एम्प्लॉइज की परफॉर्मेंस को लेके जाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं विद द हेल्प ऑफ डेलीगेशन. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल, जब आप एम्प्लॉइज को डेलीगेट करते हैं, डिस्क्रिशनरी बिहेवियर्स कम्स इन. एम्प्लॉय का जो रियल पोटेंशियल है वो उसको यूज करने की मैक्सिमम कोशिश कर रहा है, क्योंकि आपने उसको इंडिपेंडेंट टास्क दिया है. बीइंग ए स्ट्रॉन्गर, मोर प्रोडक्टिव कंपनी. So every company, they love to be more productive and more stronger in the market in order to survive in the market, and of course in order to become the market leader. You need to be stronger and more productive. Handling change easily and encouraging growth. So जिन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में अक्सर डेलीगेट किया जाता है टास्क को, वहां पे इनकरेज किया जाता है ग्रोथ को, और जब आप उस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में चेंज लेके आते हैं तो देयर इज लाइक लेस लो रेजिस्टेंस टू चेंज. अदरवाइज देयर इज हाई रेजिस्टेंस टू चेंज. लेकिन चूंकि यू हैव इन्वॉल्व्ड एम्प्लॉइज इन डिसीजन मेकिंग, सो चूंकि आपने इन्वॉल्व कर लिया उनको डिसीजन मेकिंग में, तो जब आप एम्प्लॉइज को इन्वॉल्व करके उनके साथ मिल के डिसीजन मेकिंग कर रहे हैं, तो डेफिनेटली जो रेजिस्टेंस है वो लो हो जाएगी टुवर्ड्स चेंज, एंड दैट विल ऑफ कोर्स encourages growth in the organization. And finally, bringing out the very best in people and unlocking potential. कि लोगों का जो रियल पोटेंशियल है आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, जो आपके एम्प्लॉइज का बेस्ट पोटेंशियल है, उसको बाहर लेके आना. अकॉर्डिंग टू रिसर्च 5 to 10% पोटेंशियल हम यूज करते हैं अपना, एंड रिमेनिंग 90% जो है इन मोस्ट केसेस वी नेवर यूज. सो उसको अनलॉक करना, वो जो आपका 90% पोटेंशियल है उसको अनलॉक करके बाहर लेके आना, दैट इज पॉसिबल. And one best method is, one best strategy is delegation. Now talking about the 4 stages to successful delegation. Assume that people who work for you have ability and show you have confidence in them. सबसे पहले आप assume करें कि जो लोग आपके लिए काम कर रहे हैं उनके पास abilities भी हैं, एंड आप उनको शो करें कि आपको उनके ऊपर कॉन्फिडेंस भी है. बी स्पेसिफिक अबाउट व्हाट इज एक्सपेक्टेड. टेल द पर्सन व्हाट शुड बी डन. कि आपने करना क्या, आप क्या करना चाह रहे हैं, व्हाई इट इज नीडेड, और ये जो आप करना चाह रहे हैं इसकी जरूरत क्यों है, एंड व्हेन इट शुड बी कंप्लीटेड, और व्हाट इज द डेडलाइन. टारगेट टाइम आपका, डेडलाइन आपका क्या है आपकी इस काम की जो आप करना चाह रहे हैं. टेल योर एम्प्लॉय व्हाट शुड बी डन, बट डोंट टेल देम हाउ. नाउ दिस इज रियली वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अक्सर ये किया जाता है कि आपको काम देने के साथ साथ बता भी दिया जाता है कि इस काम को आपने ऐसे करना है. सो एज ए रिजल्ट यू आर किलिंग द क्रिएटिविटी. डेलीगेट टास्क, डेलीगेट योर एक्टिविटी, डेलीगेट योर वर्क. But never tell your employee how to do this unless they ask. So when you do not tell your people how to perform the activity, how to do the work, how to do the delegated work, they learn more, they become more creative, they start using their own brain. And once you start using your own brain, you become more creative, you become more innovative. And as a result, you are bringing out your best potential. जो कि शुरू में हमने बात की कि 90% तक पोटेंशियल तो आप यूज ही नहीं कर रहे, तो वो जो 90% है वो मैक्सिमम बाहर आता है. गिव क्रेडिट एंड प्रेज जनरसली इफ अ पर्सन डज ए गुड जॉब. और अगर एक एम्प्लॉय आपका अच्छा काम करता है तो आप खुल के उसकी तारीफ करें, उसको अप्रिशिएट करें, उसको फाइनेंशियल, नॉन फाइनेंशियल रिवॉर्ड्स आप देंगे. and this will keep that person highly motivated. Now let us talk about the disadvantages of poor delegation. We have already talked about the advantages of delegation. Now let us talk about the disadvantages of poor delegation. So if you are not good in delegation, if you are not sure about the skills, abilities and competence of your employees, then you may face certain challenges. You may face certain disadvantages. So it is really very important to know the reasons that in case of poor delegation, what are the negative consequences. So let us discuss those areas that results in poor delegation. Now talking about poor delegation, signs that your delegation is failing include human resource morale is down. कि जो ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज आपके पास काम कर रहे हैं उनका जो मोरल है वो डिक्लाइन की तरफ जा रहा है. तो जब मोरल डाउन जा रहा है तो दिस इज अ साइन ऑफ पुअर डेलीगेशन. सो इफ यू डेलीगेट टू दोज ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज जिसका ऑलरेडी मोरल डाउन है तो फिर आपका वो जो काम अपने इंडिपेंडेंट टास्क उसको दिया है उसका क्या होगा. So before you delegate your task to those human resources जिनका morale already down है, first of all you need to increase their morale. You need to provide them training and development. You are always working late. अगर employees जो हैं या आप जो हैं हमेशा लेट काम कर रहे हैं, it means that you are not a good time manager. You are not good in time management. Your team is confused, conflicting, tense. कि जो आपकी टीम है, उसके जो टीम members हैं, they are in doubt, they have conflicts, negative conflicts with each other, and they are in high tension. Not delegating a task because you think that you should do it better than anyone else is a poor excuse. Doing this will just make life difficult for yourself. अगर आप इसलिए delegate नहीं कर रहे कि आपसे बेहतर उस टास्क को कोई परफॉर्म नहीं कर सकता ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, तो दिस इज अ बिग ब्लंडर. और इसके साथ साथ आप अपनी लाइफ को भी मिजरेबल करते जा रहे हैं. बिकॉज हाउ दिस इज पॉसिबल दैट कि हर डिसीजन को आप खुद ले रहे हैं, हर एक्टिविटी को आप खुद सुपरवाइज कर रहे हैं, तमाम मेजर और माइनर डिसीजन सब आपने ही लेने हैं. सो यू आर मेकिंग योर लाइफ रियली टफ. Another disadvantage of poor delegation is limitation of this approach. Assigning authority does not mean that someone has the ability, motivation and understanding necessary to perform. Now this is really very important that before delegation you should keep in mind the persons whom you are going to delegate. You need to pay very close attention to his or her skills before delegation. If you are not sure about the capabilities and competency or skills of the person whom you are going to delegate your independent task, you need to ensure that. So there are like certain procedures. Like you can give minor tasks to those persons before giving major tasks. So once you get the feedback And if that feedback is positive, you may delegate to those persons major tasks. But if the feedback is negative, you should not delegate your tasks unless until your employees, your team members, they are highly trained, they develop those skills and competencies, and when you have really confidence on them, on their competency, on their motivation level, then you can only delegate. Otherwise, you will face, losses, wastage of resources, and damage to your repute in the market. Now let us talk about the 6 steps to motivation. The following steps can be taken to help achieve and maintain motivation. Now, how to motivate your employees, how to design the motivating environment in your office. These 6 steps can help you. Number 1 step to motivation is called provide opportunities for human resources. Now this is a prerequisite. Unless until you provide opportunities, how you are going to develop your human resources. So once you provide opportunities, so motivation level increases because your employees, they want to get that opportunity. So in order to capture that opportunity, your employees, they need to perform their best level. And once they do it, motivation goes up. Indicate the opportunity, importance, value of the human resources. So give credit to your employees, value your employees. So when you give financial and non-financial rewards to your employees, that shows that you trust your employees. You give importance and value to your employees, and that increases their motivation level. Make people feel they are important. Now this is really very important for motivation. You need to keep on motivating your employees. You need to keep them a sense of feeling that you give importance to your employees. So if your employees are getting a negative feeling that you don't value them, there will be a rapid decline in motivation level of your employees. So in order to increase the motivation level of your employees, you need to give them a feeling of self-worth. Clarify goals. Very important. Goals के बारे में मैं कहूँगा कि you should have SMART goals, and those goals should be clearly specified. If there are any misunderstanding or if there is no clarity, you need to sit with your employees and communicate. So increase your meetings with your employees, communicate with them frequently, and this will help you clarify goals. Identify progress. So evaluations of your employees should be on an ongoing basis. Acknowledge achievements. Of course, this is your major responsibility, that you need to acknowledge, you need to appreciate achievements of your team members. So by following all of these 6 steps, according to research, you can increase the motivation level of your employees. But here I will advise all of you to act on these guidelines in its true spirit. Now another disadvantage of poor delegation is, are the involved parties coming to you angry and confused? Delegating a project to one department is likely to have implications for other departments. Keep it in mind as you delegate. Now this is really very important, that there is a reporting relationship. Employees at the top level, middle level and low level. तो ये ना हो कि if you delegate your task to those persons who are at a lower level, और उसमें आप उनको जब independent task देते हैं, and the upper level employees, they become accountable to the lower level employees, this will create high stress and the employees will become angry and confused. So one should not do that. Deliberate redundancy. If you are thinking that assigning the same task to multiple managers inspires healthy competition, you are sadly mistaken. This type of delegation actually inspires conflict. Much like parents who do a child's homework thinking they are helping. So when you delegate responsibility, delegate the earned positive, negative consequences as well. Delegating to weakness. Delegating tasks outside the scope of one's competence is inappropriate. कि एक पर्सन एक काम कर ही नहीं सकता और आप उसको काम दे रहे हैं वो. Classic example of this include putting the financial officer in charge of marketing department. Now this is a total mismatch कि जो financial officer है, he has in most cases no competency in the area of marketing. So when you put that financial officer in charge of marketing, so you can very well imagine कि उस डिपार्टमेंट का क्या होगा, मार्केटिंग डिपार्टमेंट का. Now the conclusion is, effective delegation will enable you to develop good people, it will save you time, and it will give your business the characteristics of a well-oiled machine. On the other side, poor delegation will get you frustration of employees and poor task execution and a group of demotivated employees. I hope that with the help of today's lecture, you have learned a lot about delegation, and of course, it is the major responsibility of leaders to delegate, to empower their employees. And once we do the delegation as per the correct procedures, as per the international standards, we can ensure increased efficiency and effectiveness of individuals, groups and our organization. Thank you very much all of you. Inshallah, see you all in the next lecture. Khuda Hafiz.